I'm Pete Hegseth, in for Jesse. We start tonight with a fake news alert at the expense of CNN.
Law enforcement officials are preparing for potential violence in the Capitol and nationwide after the leak of that Supreme Court draft opinion that would strike down Roe v. Wade after 50 years.
Potential violence, potential weekend violence over Roe v. Wade is setting off the alarm for CNN after left-wingers spent the week doxing Supreme Court justices and telling protesters to burn down Washington. So naturally, CNN is looking at reality and bracing for the worst from these leftist lunatics. Oh, wait. I stand corrected. My producers are now saying that we are not right on that. We need to correct that. I'm getting word that these actually aren't the people CNN is worried about. It looks like what they're really scared of are the violent Republicans.
Capitol Police are warning the far right is calling for violence against a religious group planning to rally for abortion rights. Seeing fences go up there. It's sort of like post-January 6th.
They are closely monitoring social media chatter that suggests that there's a potential for violence against abortion clinic providers, abortion clinic staff, members of the judiciary. What we know after January 6th and what law enforcement knows across the country is that social media chatter can manifest into actual violence.
They are so infected. Just your friendly CNN reminder that Republicans are going to start targeting Supreme Court justices and innocent civilians now for potentially overturning Roe v. Wade. That makes sense, right? Right-wingers are just furious that Roe v. Wade is about to be overturned. According to CNN, what kind of nut jobs would actually forecast that type of violence and would go around posting it on social media? How about these people? Thanks to TikTok.
If Roe versus Wade gets overturned, there will be mayhem in these streets.
If they actually do this, yeah, that would be the time where rioting would be okay. I got the pitchforks, you get the gas and the torches. Let's do that.
Do you ever wake up in the morning and think you just want to burn it all to the ground? And what I mean by burning it all to the ground is those old white men and the women who support them who want to tell me what to do with my body.
You think the global protests around George Floyd were big? You just wait when you launch an attack on 50% of the American population.
Who do you think they voted for? Looks like a lot of right-wingers to me who don't shower and lead with their preferred gender pronouns. You know, mostly peaceful protesters, which, you know, CNN couldn't help but point out, too.
The bottom line here is that while these protests, for the most part, have been, here in Washington at least, have been peaceful, there have been a couple confrontations, but no physical eruptions.
This is all one report. We had to watch the whole thing. So when CNN sees a giant fence around the Supreme Court building, the same week that TikTok is flooded with videos of leftists saying to burn it all down, all left-wing groups left-wing groups are doxing conservative Supreme Court justices. They figure it can't be due to those mostly peaceful protesters from, the summer of 2020. It has to be those darn January 6th protesters again.
Take a look at this fence behind me. I'm about 5'6". This fence is a couple feet higher than me. You've seen this fence many times. It is the same fence that went up around the Capitol following January 6th. This kind of approach has become somewhat of muscle memory here in Washington following the riot. Also down the street, you see a concrete barrier also going up.
Look down the street at all those violent Republicans in the shot, trying to force their way into the Supreme Court. And liberals aren't there since they're getting ready to grab their pitchforks and head over to the private homes of conservative judges. All thanks to leftist groups like Ruth Sent Us, as if Ruth Bader Ginsburg sent them, who released personal addresses of 6 Supreme Court justices yesterday. And of course, with a little encouragement from their favorite Native American Senator, Liz Warren, who sent up smoke signals to rally her pro-abortion crowd last night.
I am angry because an extremist United States Supreme Court thinks that they can impose their extremist views on all of the women of this country, and they are wrong. Yeah. I am angry because we have reached the culmination of what Republicans have been fighting for, angling for,
Pocahontas ended the only way she knows how, with a classic pro-abortion powwow.
I have seen the world where abortion is illegal. And we are not going back. Not ever. No. So say it with me. We are not going back. We are not going back. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Never.
Maybe they put up the fence for her. These are the people that we should actually be worried about, the ones in the streets telling people to fight back against so-called extremist Supreme Court, all for wanting to return the question of abortion to the states, to the people, to the elected legislatures. The ones lying blatantly in the faces of their supporters to incite a phony uproar. Most of them are already convinced that Republicans can flat out ban abortion in the country if Roe v. Wade's overturned, which of course is not true. Or worse, that Republicans are going to start burning women. Here's low-rated, joyless Reid with that, well, desperate take.
If you go back to the original conception of this country, an unmarried woman was most likely to be burned as a witch. Most people who were burned as witches were often unmarried or widows, people who were untethered to a man, which is the only thing that grounded even white women in humanity. So if you are an originalist, you essentially want to go back to that original conception of women.
Joy must be confusing history with a classic Monty Python movie.
What makes you think she's a witch? Well, she turned me into a newt. A newt. I got better. Burn already!
These people aren't actually pro-choice. They're just pro-abortion. They're willing to make up imaginary scenarios just to add some fuel to the fire, like they always do. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Just so they can keep their supporters obsessed with aborting babies and helping to dilute the idea of the nuclear family. They want a world where everyone is brainwashed into believing abortion without limits is a good thing, where you can abort a baby anytime, any day.
My question was about any limits to abortion at any point. You know, late term, anything?
Look, you got to leave it up to the woman.
So you don't believe there should be any government, any sort of government passed limitation on when a woman gets an abortion?
I think that this is about a woman and her doctor and her family.
Does the president support abortion up until the moment of birth?
The president has spoken about this many times, Peter, and I would refer you to his own comments about abortion and a woman's right to choose and make decisions about her body with her doctor.
Every Republican candidate in America should be asking every single one of their Democrat opponents all the way up until the midterm election that very question, because the left and the Democrats are so beholden to the pro-abortion lobby, they can't answer any other way. We shouldn't be calling these people pro-choice. These people are pro-abortion. And they're more than willing to threaten sitting Supreme Court justices and threaten to burn down the courts just to get their way. These are the real extremists. These are the people that want to burn down our American experiment, ultimately, if they could, as we know it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.